Welcome, welcome to another episode of the T1P podcast. I am Tyrone Richardson. I am your host. I am joined today by my cousin, Erin Wilson-Ruff. I call her a cousin because she is the proud principal of Annie Fisher STEM Magnet School in Hartford, Connecticut. And when I was a principal in Hartford for one of my stints, I actually had to model my school, Batanza STEM, after Annie Fisher STEM. So you see, I'm still rocking my swag. And so, what's up, Principal Erin Wilson-Ruff? What's up?
Seriously, the second I logged on, I'm like, I love that you're representing the Annie Fisher STEM swag. I see it all the time. Like, once a STEMmer, always a STEMmer. Like, we really run deep in our school community. It's pretty amazing. I love it.
That's cool. That's cool. And of course, I keep all my swag that people pass on to me. I was once a supervisor of that school and
Yep.
hung out there a lot, know a lot of the staff. Excellent blue ribbon school as well. Are you distinctive right now too?
So
Are you a school of distinction, or what's the latest award you just got?
No, we were just awarded the Magnet Schools of America School of Excellence Award.
School of Excellence Award. Okay. All right.
So
Well,
we're on our way to
congratulations.
blue ribbon. It's our goal. We're not
Yep.
there yet, but we're definitely making some great progress.
Well, I'm glad because what happened was the actually House Academy in New Britain was going towards blue ribbon status nationally, and then our current administration cut that program, and so we picked it up statewide. So statewide we still have blue ribbon status, but nationally Linda McMahon kind of took that away for some odd reason, which is crazy. But
Oh, Linda.
we will move on from that, and we're here to talk about you. So, Erin, you gotta hit us with and this is gonna be if you don't know Erin Wilson-Ruff, she is so full of energy. She is so much fun. It is ridiculous, but when it's time to get to business, she knows how to get to business. So,
Get to business.
I want you to tell me where were you born?
I was born in East Hartford, Connecticut. I'm a Burnside baby.
Burnside, baby. Okay,
Yes.
and so you went to school. Which school in East Hartford? Coming
So
up.
I went to kindergarten at Langford. And
Okay.
that was the most magical school because in the kindergarten classroom, they had the loft. And I just loved my kindergarten classroom because I
Yep.
used to go upstairs and that's where all like the actual play-based learning with like the stove and all the
Yeah.
the kitchen stuff. And oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I used to thought I was going to die going down the stairs because they were so steep. It was traumatic. Langford was a traumatic experience. But I absolutely loved it. And I loved the fountain in the middle of the school. It was like this magical little place near the library. And then we moved to South Windsor. So then I went to South Windsor Public Schools.
Okay, in the South Windsor, you went through all elementary and middle school in South Windsor?
I did. Yep. I went to Pleasant Valley. Oh my gosh, I think I could still recite our school song.
My God.
And then middle school, Timothy Edwards. And then high school, I went to East Catholic for a little bit.
Yep.
And then decided to finish my high school career at South Windsor Public Schools.
Okay, you laughing at don't be laughing at public schools.
No, I'm laughing at how long I lasted in Catholic school. So
Okay. It kicked you right out.
it was a mutual decision. It was a mutual,
decision.
we just felt our time together has ended, and it was
Okay.
time for me to go to my home school for my senior year.
So I just want to let's go back to elementary for a second in South Windsor. Did you have a favorite teacher in elementary school? You said you could almost recite the song there. You must have had some good times there.
Man. So I went to Pleasant Valley. Okay, you know who my favorite person in the entire world is? And I still think about her every time I look at like gummy bears. I know it sounds so random. So I used to go to math resource. I went to the resource room.
Okay.
And I worked with Mrs. Schaefer. And it was so great because her room was like in a closet, but it was okay back then to have like, kids in a closet. Like it's
Right.
fine. It's like the 80s. We're fine. And she always had a filing cabinet, and every time we'd finish our math work together, she would open
Yeah.
her file cabinet, and I used to get a piece of candy, and I always got the wrapped the big thick gummy bear things.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
got
yeah,
stuck
yeah.
in your teeth, and
It's
then
like
your teachers.
yep.
It's a whole thing. So I used to love going to the closet for math. Mrs. Schaefer was my favorite person in the world. She made it a safe space for me. And she channels my energy. Um,
Okay, shout out to Miss Schaefer, and you're right. We're not doing closets in little spaces with teachers and or resource people anymore. Can't happen.
yeah, I'm not sure if they had unions back then. So
So middle school, what type of middle school student were you at
um,
Timothy?
I was oh man. Middle school is kind of tough because you're going through like so many changes. And
Big time. Yeah.
yeah, it was really, Timothy Edwards was an amazing school. I loved, like they had teams. So you're like, oh my God, in the summertime, it's like, oh, am I in the green team? Am I on the coral
Yeah.
team? That was really cool. What helped me through middle school, honestly, is my brother is not even, he's a year older than me.
Okay.
So, kind of my safety net.
That's
That's what he's
right.
like,
Don't mess with my
little
sister.
Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. I played a lot, like I
Yeah.
played sports. Like I was very active within the school community.
Okay.
So that was super helpful. Middle school was cool. Again, I was a big softball player, I love sports. So
That's
it was
popular. You played softball in
yeah,
middle school?
I did. I did. Actually, my father, do you know my dad was my softball coach for years?
Ooh. Was that good or bad?
Depend if we if we won. Um, that's a fun car ride home.
Right,
Um,
right.
no, no, he was great. He was so great. My dad's awesome. But yeah, I played softball. It was super fun. I was very, very competitive and then loved playing tennis. So I don't know. I just like that. I had a core,
See,
like
I
small
go
friend
off
group.
the reason why I ask is just in the difference right there, right? Even in this conversation, I went to Quirk Middle in Hartford, and while we had some great stuff at Quirk, we had ceramics class and cooking class and all those things, those opportunities for sports were very slim at Quirk Middle. Nobody was playing tennis, and nobody was playing softball. To my recollection,
Yeah.
we just weren't doing that. So, it's a little bit different. But you had those experiences. Did you have a favorite teacher or subject in middle school?
I did. Okay, this is what I had that like epiphany in middle school. I
Okay,
loved Miss Hoffman. Miss Hoffman was my Spanish teacher, and
okay,
she, like, was so amazing and scary and, like, just, like, amazing, and I loved her,
okay.
like, articulation and she was just amazing, and I was like, "That's it. I am going to speak Spanish, for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be bilingual."
Mhm.
And I was actually thinking about being a high school Spanish teacher, because of my middle school Spanish teacher, Miss Hoffman.
Okay, so Miss Hoffman, was she Hispanic? With her last
Nope.
name Hoffman? And can you speak Spanish?
Sí.
That's not gonna be that's the extent of it. Because 'cause you're like, "Sí, me habla español." No?
Sí, sí. No, I don't know, some tequila, I'm more fluent, but, no,
Okay.
I so keep it real. Um, I really loved the language, and I felt like I was fluent in my previous years. Like I did
Got
the
you.
studying, like in
Yep,
high school, right? In college, like I went to Costa Rica and I did the whole like I studied in Mexico and
yep,
I was fully immersed in the language. So that was super helpful. But I never told anybody because I just didn't want to mispronounce things. But I love the
got you.
language. I love it so much. That was my dream. I just want to let you know, and I'm not giving up on
Yep.
my dream because I feel like there's a future somewhere for me. I did my entire, like, high school Spanish, like, project my senior year of how I wanted to be the voice of, like, destinos. When you go to Spanish class and you're listening to, like, the audio and you're watching the videos and, like, all those, like, scenarios, it's like Telemundo, but, like,
Mhm.
appropriate for children, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted to be the voice. I wanted to be the voice of destinos.
You can still do that if you want to. You still have those dreams. You still have the opportunity to do it,
No.
to follow your dreams.
It really
I
I'm
took
not
Spanish 1 and 2, and even in high school, I took another Spanish 1 and 2.
um
I got some, and my wife is Puerto Rican, right? I got some, but I'm not walking around here claiming to be fluent.
It comes out every now and again. Like, it was really helpful working in, like, a bilingual school because I loved, speaking with, the children, and it was great because they would teach me too. Like, when you're fully immersed in it, it just you learn quicker and it comes back, but those darn conjugated verbs, man.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! But anyway, so maybe one day I would just always gonna be like, Luisa. And I love that you always got Spanish names. Like every year, they'd be like, "Oh, Erin, soy nombre Eva." You know what I mean? I was like so excited. I'm like, "Oh my god, I have a new name, a new identity. Like this is
Oh, she sounds
amazing."
so
Like,
cool,
so my name was always Ava.
Ava. So, all right, let's move to high school.
Sorry.
What was high school like? And so you're gonna well, I don't want you to get too deep if it's too personal, but I don't know what happened at East Catholic
Oh,
to get you to come to that mutual agreement.
it was so amicable. It was a very amicable, like it was like Jesus gave us both a sign saying it was time for me to leave and go to South Windsor. No, it just was, sometimes it just you learn it's not the right, like, fit. I didn't
Yeah.
not excel in high school, you know what I mean? I didn't always make the greatest choices in high school,
Mhm.
but I loved the learning experiences. I mean, it was a whole different world going, to a Catholic school. It's just, the
Right.
uniforms and the strictness, and
Right.
I'm very thankful for some of the classes that I did take and some of the teachers that I did have because,
Okay.
they were tough, right? And they helped me they did help me actually a lot stay focused.
Yeah.
I can't say they all appreciated my sense of humor,
Mhm.
um, and that's okay.
Well, were
Um,
you in a situation where because Catholic schools has this reputation for taking out the ruler and slapping hands. Were we doing that back then? Were we in corporal punishment when you were in high school, or we weren't doing
no,
that?
no, but oh my gosh. Okay. So, no, I think that's illegal.
Well,
But
this is
but
back in the day. Listen, I was in elementary school getting paddled. So somewhere along the line, I know we close in age somewhere. I was getting paddled in elementary, but if they weren't doing that, that's cool.
they weren't. It was more so like, I mean, the old school, like punitive punishments. Like you had Thursdays, right? So if your uniform shirt wasn't tucked in appropriately, they'd be like, "Oh, Wilson." They always called me Wilson. I never had a first name in high school, just so you know. I
Okay.
was Wilson for I don't think people knew I had a first name. Um, well, until I got in trouble. But still. Um, Yeah, Thursdays, like, well, you get a 1 hour, and then obviously, depending on the infraction, it could be like a 2 hour, like, Thursday. If you accrued 2 Thursdays, in a week, then you have to do, a Saturday, which I've
Saturday, yeah.
done.
So this is
So you have
all
to go to school
detention.
on
Yeah.
Saturday. Then if you accrue a lot of Saturdays, then you get the amazing opportunity to do, like, a work study in the summer, where you
Okay.
actually get to give back to your school community, and you get to scrape off gum at the bottom of, the desks and paint the boys' locker room, and you get to paint
Oh wow.
the lines in the parking lot in, 98-degree heat. So, they give you wonderful opportunities to give back to the school community back then.
My goodness. My goodness. Couldn't do that now because the custodian union ain't having that, right? And they're not
That
taking
or
away
I
the
mean, the
opportunity
child
for that.
labor laws, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if the labor department's gonna stop
Right.
by
Yeah.
anytime. Like,
So how on earth and you in high school, right, when you got back to public school in
yeah,
South Windsor,
that was a
what was
shift.
your favorite subject?
Spanish.
Still I thought Spanish was in, so throughout, it was middle school and high school,
I had
Spanish.
Spanish, yes, it was the only thing I
I
was
got
really
you.
good at.
Okay.
It was honest to God the only thing I was really good at,
And
truly.
you went to college where?
So,
Boy.
I went to St. Joseph's College.
Okay, St. Joe's in
Yes.
on Asylum?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, I did, and that was an amazing experience.
What did you what did you focus on? What was your major at St. Joe's?
Okay, so I had many majors because I do not think it's fair to ask an 18-year-old what they wanna do for the rest of their lives, because I wasn't exposed to certain things that you're exposed to in college, where there's all these different career fields, right? Like, I never had the exposure of like, "Oh, these are all the amazing career opportunities for you," you know?
Okay.
So I could tell you what I did do within my 4 years. I was in the nursing program. Sure, why not? Then I
Yep.
was like, "No, I really like child development." So then I
Mhm.
went the child development, route, and then I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm actually like, let's try writing. I love writing, that's creative." So I
Okay.
started the whole writing thing, and then it was like, "Oh god, fast forward." Next thing I know, it's like my junior year, and they're like, "Hey, you're supposed to graduate at some point, and you have, like, no credits in any department." They wouldn't let
Right.
me into the education department. So well, I just feel like they felt I wasn't ready for that because I never wanted to be a teacher. And then, but at St. Joe's, it's like, do you do nursing,
Mhm.
education, or do you just go with like the equivalent of a communications major and be a psych major?
My
So, but I
goodness.
took a lot
Yeah.
of special ed because I loved learning about child development and I
Mhm.
loved my sped classes. I was so engaged. Like I loved learning about the various like exceptionalities and like the brain development. And I love that aspect of it. I think I
Yeah.
get that from like my mom, but it wasn't until it was my senior year, everyone, senior year. And I
Yep.
had to do some community service. And so I was asked to go to
For
work.
school.
Yeah, yes, St. Joe's asked me to do some community service. So
Yep.
this is my first entry point into Hartford. So I actually ended up working for the LEAP program. Do you remember LEAP? It's like Leadership Education Athletic Partnership. It was an organization in Hartford well, that worked with Hartford Public Schools. Long story
Okay.
short, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have you start working in an after school program with at risk girls."
Risk.
Um,
Yep.
like in Frog Hollow. And I'm like, sure, let's do this. This sounds
Right.
great.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So I met I had 12 to 14-year-old girls. Anyways, after school program, I'm supposed to help them with their homework. I'm their homework support, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at their work, looking at their books, and they really struggled with like the reading aspect. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what is it? Like what? Because again, you don't know what you don't know. And
Right.
so that was the biggest aha moment for me. I still remember that. And I was literally at Betances, in their library. That's where we met
Yep.
after school. And I had South Church right here to my right because I did some
Mhm.
work with them too. Because I love community service, Tyrone. You're gonna learn that about me. Love community service. But that was a big aha moment for me. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what grade are you in? I'm like, and like it was a big aha that they couldn't read.
And
And
so
I was
so that aha, where
like,
they couldn't read, was part of my reason why I wanted to be a teacher at Hartford High, actually, in cooking class,
oh,
where it was a senior in there and, long story short, he couldn't read word for word what we were cooking that day, and it was an embarrassing piece, and I was wondering at that time, how could you get this far in school and can't read? And so I'm sure you having that, like, epiphany, how can you be this old and struggle this much in reading?
it was very eye-opening, and it for me, it was like, "Hey, I'm judgment free. I'm a college kid doing community service, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I didn't
yeah,
have, like, this, like, savior complex. Instead, I was like, "Alright, well, how can I make these girls feel as comfortable as possible with me? We're not embarrassing them. We're not gonna make a big deal out of it." But it
right,
really resonated with me, and then, I don't know, I just started thinking about it and about, well, I could help them, but I was more so of like the SEL side of it, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I don't know how
yeah,
to teach a kid to read, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Hello, I was just in the nursing major
right.
a month ago.
Yep,
Like I was learning about like
same me.
the functions of the heart, and then I'm
Right,
like, oh, let me teach reading.
I'm gonna do this.
But I loved the connection and I loved, working, and I'm like, "Well, let's get you some more books." And so I did, like, a book drive through, the church. I was able to get so many books donated to, the Betances Library, so I
Yep,
was really proud of that, and then, yeah, the semester ended. I was hard to say goodbye to the girls because you just b have that, like, bond with them, and it took a while, right? It took a while for them to, like, trust me and, like, because 'cause they're
yeah,
like, "Who the hell are you?" You know? Um, and I don't know, I left there and I went, I'm at St. Joseph's my senior year and I was like, wow, I wonder if maybe I should think about maybe being a teacher. I don't know. Just, my senior year.
yep,
But they were like, well, okay. But I didn't wanna leave Hartford. I fell in love with Hartford. I fell in love with Frog Hollow. I loved my people that would, like, protect my car while I'm, like, because I used to actually teach a photography class. Yeah, really cool. I had, like, my
Okay.
dark room in
Yeah, yeah,
one
yeah.
of the apartment buildings, and so it's really great because the guys are totally 20 years old, 21 years old.
Yeah.
And the guys would always like, "We'll watch your car. We got you." I'm like, "Thank you." Like, cause I'm gonna go take the girls, out to learn how to, the pinhole camera. We developed our film. That was so cool. I still have the pictures somewhere. But anyways, fast forward. I'm like, "Oh, I have to graduate. Oh, shoot. Well, how many credits do I have to graduate?" They're like, "Well, you have a psych and a Spanish degree." And I'm like, "Bingo." I graduated. But I still applied to Hartford Public Schools because, Sister Mary, one of them, was just like, "Well, you gotta do something with your life." And I'm like, "Well, I really
But you
love."
didn't have a teaching certification.
No, no, I
Okay.
had 500 credits in every damn degree you could think of.
Right. Right.
So, when I applied to Hartford, I immediately I'm not kidding you, I had about, like, 8 interviews. I am
Yeah.
22. I'm like a little 20-year-old. And so I fell in love with they said that I could be a sub. And then they
Okay.
were like, "Well, how many credits do you have in whatever?" And I said, "Well, actually I have like 15 credits in special education because I again,
Yep.
remember as a child development major."
Okay.
So
At one
I,
point.
yes, like I feel like I don't know, jack of all trades, master of none. And so I got hired as a long-term sub, and I'll never forget, like, Bill Chambers, to this day, I will forever be grateful
Or Bill
for him.
Chambers. Was he at Clark or at Milner? Which
Milner, it was him and
Milner then. Yep.
Evelyn Marrero, and I went on
Okay.
several interviews, and, I'm like, "Oh, I love with, like, kids and building relationships," and, like,
Mhm.
the typical, like, you wanna, um and it was funny because 'cause I'll never forget in my interview, Bill's just like, "So a kid's gonna tell you to go, like, screw yourself, doesn't wanna
Right,
read.
right,
How are you
right.
gonna handle
Yeah.
that?" That was my first interview question, and I just looked at him and I said, "Well, it's not about forcing the kid to read." I said, "I would just have to find ways to find something the kid might be interested in." I said, "Because I'm not
Yeah.
forcing a kid to, like." And so we just had this, like, really great conversation and before I, like, left the room, he was just like, "You're hired." And I was like, "Thank you." But I loved the thoughtfulness of him. So I was in a 4th grade classroom, but then, back then, they collapsed classrooms, after, like,
Yeah.
a few weeks, and Bill was so amazing. I really appreciate him because he was like, "I don't want you to go."
Oh,
And
because
so
you were the sub, so you might have had to be released from that collapse.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so, he's like, "I have a special ed opening for Reach." And he goes, "But I think you can do it." He's like I think he said something like, "I think you're crazy enough you can do it."
Yeah, you
And
could
he's
have to
like,
do it because reach was a whole 'nother thing, but go on.
"Yep."
I think those I need to hear about this because you just have that personality to be able to handle that.
Yes, bring it on.
Bring it
They're
on.
like, bring it on. But it's the best experience ever because they had the Reach opening. And so they're like, "Hey, in downtown, it was wonderful." They're like, "Actually, you have enough credits to get a DSAP for SPED to be a SPED teacher." And I'm like, "That's amazing." So here I am, like, this is so great. I have like 14 different like degrees. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
I'm like, "Sure." So I did the REACH program. I was put in the 4th through 6th grade class,
Okay.
self-contained,
Yep.
um, at Milner. That was very that was probably the best experience of my entire educational life
Nice. Nice.
because nothing prepares you,
Yep.
nothing prepares you for the classroom more
Yep.
than being a self-contained teacher in the REACH program
Which, by
because
the way, we don't have anymore at all. That's been all mainstreamed out, but
we're
that was
outplaced.
great. Yeah, our place. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
I loved, I loved my students. I had the most phenomenal para-educator. It was a really great opportunity, for me to grow as a professional, but more so as a
Yep.
person. It taught me how to be resilient. It taught me to how to persevere. It taught me that, this is not about me at all. Like this is about you're in service of others and of children. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, with the population that we worked with, so often they are underrepresented. They're not, I don't know how to say this like eloquently. I hated the fact that they put our children in my classroom in the corner of the building. And my children didn't have access to the regular learning experience that the other children
Yeah.
had in their classrooms. And so, even at a young age, I made it my absolute point to make sure that our children received the coolest learning experiences in our classroom. And I'm forever and a day thankful and grateful to the amazing, I'll give her a shout out, Dr. Katie Wood, because she was seriously,
Katie Wood, and she
she
was
was
at
the
Milner for a long time too.
she was
Yep.
a third grade teacher, and
Wow.
she was so wonderful. I asked her, I said, "Can I bring my children in for a lesson?" I mean, we're in this room all day, guys. Like uh, and I'll be forever be grateful. We did like the Liars Club, the creative writing. She was great. Then we started to do math together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was amazing. I loved the children. It was the hardest thing. I got my butt kicked. I had a concussion. I got punched, hit. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
I think about the children all the time. And I just hope that I created like a very safe, loving, caring space for them. That they
But you hear
deserve.
what you just said, though? You hear what you just said, though? I got a concussion, I got kicked, I got
Yeah,
punched, and then you came back and said, "I just wanted them to know that I was making a what kind of environment for them?"
like a caring, a safe, a loving environment. Like they
Even though you at times weren't necessarily safe, you
no,
didn't hold grudges against kids for anything.
no, it's easy to do. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't have feelings and get mad. I mean, when you're getting
For sure.
punched and you want to be like, I
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah,
kick
yeah,
your
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
At
For
the
sure.
end of the day, I always think like big picture, right? Take myself out of this. You know what I mean? It's not about me. It's about them. And I just no matter what, even today as a principal, people are always like, oh, I just want to make sure that every child that I've ever been so lucky to either teach or to mentor or to be their principal, like that all children feel loved, valued, and cared for. And that's like that. I hope that's my legacy always is like, oh my God, Principal Wilson Ruff loved me. Like oh my gosh, was so excited to see me every day. And I feel like I was always like that in my classroom as a teacher because I loved teaching. I never wanted to do this damn thing, but I fell in love with it. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, I got to be really good at it. So,
Well, how
that's,
and eventually you went you started teaching at Milner. How many years were you a teacher before? Like, what was your trajectory from teaching? Because at one
yes.
point, you even got Teacher of the Year.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. So yeah, my second year, Mr. Fabio Ayala, who I love so much, he goes to me, he's like, I'm either gonna have you stay here one more year, he's like, or I'm gonna kick you out. He's like, because you need to go get certified. He's like, I'm gonna help you look at programs. And so we looked at Yale, because back then, remember Yale started like the 1 year master certification program.
Right,
I
in
just
the
like to say
60s, yeah.
Yale people. I've never been to Yale, okay? But the friendly neighbor, Bridgeport, had a great program. So I was like, you know what? I feel like Bridgeport's more my speed. I'm like, but thanks, Yale, for the um so I went to UB. First of all, one of the most phenomenal programs. I learned more in my 1 year at UB than I did in 4 years.
Okay.
Like I don't know what just something clicked for me. And I was just in it. I'm like, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna be like the best student I can be. And this
Mhm.
is so not me ever. And then I went to UB and then I worked at Hopbrook Intermediate School in Naugatuck. And
Okay, and that was like that was student teaching or that was a job?
so through the UB program, you give you basically work for a year and they help you pay your masters. And so
Okay,
I
okay.
literally got an apartment in Waterbury on Willow Street. And if anybody knows Waterbury, you know Willow Street right here. Yep, now I know why the rent was so cheap. It's
Yeah.
like, "This is amazing." I'm like, $550 includes everything and groceries? No, I'm just kidding. So I worked as a math I was a sub, but then I ended up teaching math. So I was like a 6th grade math sub at Hopbrook Intermediate School, and then I finished my grad program, and, I did my student teaching at the East Hartford Glastonbury Magnet School, and again, I had the most phenomenal cooperating teacher. Oh my gosh, she's absolutely amazing. Miss Moore, shout out to you.
Shout out to
And then, you know what I did? I went right back to Hartford. I was like, "Nope, I'm coming back," and Mr. Ayala was like, "Just let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you
Yep,
wanna come back." And it took me a year to finish everything, but I got my master's and my certification in a year.
yep,
Highest GPA I've ever seen in my life. I didn't even know those numbers existed. I haven't seen anything past a 2 in my life. And so I came back to Hartford and then, "Hi, I'm back."
yep.
20 years later.
So when you came back to Hartford, you went to what school? You went back to Milner or you ended up at
No,
Annie Fisher?
so Mr. Ayala was at Dwight. So he went
Okay.
to Dwight. So I got hired at Dwight Elementary School and I taught 4th grade. And I was like, 4th for life. You know, 4th grade teachers, I feel like we all have
Mhm.
like, we have a special 4th grade. There's something about 4th grade teachers. I just want to let you know. They're the,
Okay. I was never a 4th grade teacher. I'm rocking middle school all day
mm,
because us middle school teachers are, you know, tough deal. And I
amazing.
say middle, I throw 5th grade in there too. 5 through 8 was
Yeah.
my thing, my thing. And you have a K-8 school, so don't knock middle school folks.
Are you kidding? I feel like I've done some of my best work in middle school. I have the most incredible middle school team. Like I have the best middle school team. They're amazing.
Okay, so
Um,
how did you get to even get to the principal ranks? Like,
oh
how did you
my God.
how the hell are you sitting in that
I feel
seat?
like I've been doing this forever. No, I'm just
Right,
kidding.
and it's only what, year 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I taught at Dwight 4th grade, and then, Dwight moved to, the old South Catholic, Belize, because remember,
Yep,
it's gonna be, like, an Asian studies,
yep.
and that was with, my beautiful Stacy McCann.
Mhm.
And so I was like, "I will follow you." And so I
God
went
bless
with
Stacey McCann
Stacy,
for sure.
to Belize, because we were at Dwight together, and then
Yep.
Belize, and then, I was always a lead math and science like, I was a lead math and science teacher, and then I heard about this magical thing called a magnet school because 'cause I've never heard
Yep.
of that before, but I heard that there was gonna be, like, an Annie Fisher STEM magnet school with a science and math focus, and,
Yep.
it's a new principal, a new school, and I was encouraged to apply, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh my gosh," and I'll never forget, this is the worst day of my life. I applied and I didn't tell Stacy.
Oh, so
God, to
you
this day. But of
yeah,
course, she knew because I never take days off. I'm like, I come to work all the time. I know it's pathetic. I need to learn how to take days. Um, oh my God, after my interview with Mel Brady, by the way, what?
yeah.
Intimidating.
Mm,
It was
yeah.
so intimidating. And I loved every second of it because
I
I'm
love
like,
Melanie Brady, man. Melanie Brady was very intense. Shout out to Melanie Brady. She's superintendent somewhere,
she is, she's amazing.
a region somewhere. I love her. I had to learn under her as well. But very intense. Took a lot from her as well.
Oh, there are days where like, I actually thought, like, I almost called her the other day because I was sweeping the floors, and it reminds me of Mel Brady. Like, the first like, I remember watching out, I'm like, "My principal is sweeping the hallway."
Mhm.
Like, because it
Mhm.
just showed the sense of, like, pride in her school and
That's
just
right.
and I didn't do it because of that, I just did it intrinsically, but it made me think of, "Oh, wow, that was a Melanie Brady moment."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something Melanie would do. And then Brady gave me the opportunity, and then I came here to STEM, and I was a 4th grade teacher because I was like, and Tamika Knight, my ride or die partner,
Tamika Knight,
um,
big time teacher of the year one time as well. Yeah.
Tamika Knight, I'm telling you. So we actually went into our interviews telling Melanie Brady, who we've never met before, that we were a package deal and one of us would not go without the other. So we actually went that route.
Wow.
So thank God it worked out, and thank God I had enough like greens and blues on the data to help Melanie make
Mhm,
that
mhm.
decision.
That's
Because my
right.
interview was show me your data. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that though. That's a strong move that she had. We interviewed for Batasa STEM folk as well, and she was ready. She was like, "Hey, listen, I need you to show and prove what we got." But she did allow me to take two of my teachers from Milner when we went over there. We only started with one grade level, and she took two of her teachers. She took Danielle, God bless the dead, and Kim. Kim from Annie Fisher
Yeah.
and brought them over, and I took Mario and Melissa, and we started, uh, Batasa STEM, but yeah,
But look at what you did. Like, isn't that, I mean, that must be such a huge, just such a sense of pride for you and what
big
you built with
time,
your team. Like,
big
it
time.
just, I don't know. You guys always had just like that vibe, and always had like the best sense of community with you and your team at B STEM.
Yeah.
It was definitely something that I was always like, ah, oh, B STEM, so great.
Yeah, we rocked it out. We was like nerdy
Yeah.
birds for life. We doing our
Yep.
thing, and
Nerdy
I just was,
birds.
yeah, nerdy birds. Yeah, a lot I learned in my first stint at Milner to be able to bring that over, and so I'm sure you brought stuff over from Stacy, from Dwight, and then took some of the stuff that Mel got you, because eventually you became a principal, and if you never wanted to become a teacher in the first place, did you ever really wanna become a principal?
Oh, yeah, no. No.
So then what you doing
No.
sitting
No,
there?
no, no, no. But I think that's why I think that's I don't know, I think it's why probably I love it. I loved I love, curriculum instruction and assessment. Like, I really feel like I'm a strong instructional leader,
Mhm.
so I love that aspect. I loved being an instructional coach. I loved supporting teachers. I love writing curriculum. I love being creative.
Yeah,
Love that aspect of it. But then as you continue to like learn and grow and you get more leadership opportunities and you see kind of the fruits of your labor and you see certain things like, wow, that was really powerful, or wow, that really made an impact. Then you just
okay.
start thinking about what's your natural career trajectory.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I just after coaching, I became an assistant principal at Parkville Community School. Oh my God, the best school ever. Panther Pride. I love Parkville.
Wait,
I love the
who was
children.
running Parkville? Who was running Parkville? Did you go through both administrators,
I did.
or what was it Desi? What
Yes. So I started dun 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 with Tommy Henley. He was the principal. And then when he left, Ezzy came in after the start of the year.
Yep,
And so I just, I'll say this
'cause
to anyone
Tommy
who
had no business there. Sorry, Tommy. Ezzy, yes, go on, keep going, sorry. Shout out to
Tom,
Ezzy.
Tommy,
Harper
I love
Highland.
you. Tommy, if you're listening.
Yeah, yeah. Tommy was quick in this district, man. We can't, whatever.
Yeah,
But Ezzy,
well, I will say I learned a few important lessons from Tommy Henley, though. I'm
mhm,
gonna be very honest. Like, I did learn, especially as a new AP,
yeah,
I I appreciate the one thing that he actually helped me that I still obviously do every day is just the ability to have some like difficult conversations with
of course.
respect and integrity. And like
Yeah,
and I do appreciate that because I saw him firsthand. Like, I'm like,
mhm,
okay.
right,
But no, Ezzy, please. Ezzy, I love Ezzy. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
That was, I love her. I love the school community. I loved our children. I loved, my little like bilingual babies.
yeah,
I loved, it was just such a special place that has so much potential. You know what I mean? There are like when I was there, phenomenal educators. Again, like, oh my gosh, like, and the community was really great. They have a lot of great partners. And with just some really wonderful families. I if Annie Fisher STEM, if the position wasn't, I would still probably be the assistant principal at
be there
Parkville.
if it didn't
Like,
come up, because once that position came up, I was like, "Oh my god, I would love to go back there and be the principal of that school."
it was, yeah, it was just really several people sent me a text. They're like, "Did you apply?" And I'm like, I've been an assistant principal for 1 year.
Right,
Like,
right.
I just got here. I have
Yeah.
boxes I haven't even unpacked of books, right? It happened so fast, and I know, like, like, our school went through a lot, like, a lot of changes,
Yeah,
and so I, to this day, cannot believe, and I still cannot believe that I get to be here and come back, in
yeah,
this role, specifically in this role. Um, I just This school is truly my heart. I I don't know anybody else that loves this school community more than me. I truly I'm so grateful and thankful every day. I sound like a like at not you want to puke at me because that's how much I love our school. Like I really it's obnoxious. I know it's obnoxious. But
mhm,
I love our children. I love our staff. I love what we're doing. It's the hardest job ever, but it just to come back here is so special. It is I tell I'm so grateful and thankful, and I'm forever indebted um to Dr. Torres Rodriguez because she
giving
gave
you
me
that
the
opportunity,
opportunity.
right?
And I
Yeah,
will forever, and I think anytime if I ever see her again, like I'm gonna
thank you
thank you
for
a
that
million
opportunity.
times because it's unheard of to be an AP for 1 year and have the opportunity
I'm going
to
to take
then
that.
that's
I think when it opened and I was there for that, I think we all agreed that it was a good choice for that piece, and I would say that I was a cheerleader for you to end up in that position
thank
just
you.
because I knew, informing B-STEM and coming from the Andy Fisher, tree for what they believed in, your energy around, the STEM field and that
Mm,
school in particular, and it was the opportunity that was there, and I knew I would be coming in and supporting you in that, and so I was like, "Yeah, we should do that," when I was, having conversations with Yvette around that and stuff.
thank you.
That's a good move to be able to do, so when you interviewed that was cool to see you doing that, and I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad it's a place that feels like home for you. I think you deserve to be there. I knew, Angela was a good person for you to
Mhm.
have as an AP in the building, and,
Yeah.
some of that staff that was still there, believed in you as well, and so it's good to see that you got, that, excellence award
Whoop
and
whoop.
that's for Blue Ribbon, man. Let's shoot for it. Let's shoot for it. Now, Annie Fisher Magnet School is a K-8 school.
Yes.
Some people don't know what magnet schools are anymore, or even if they need to exist or what that means in today's society and
Mm.
funding and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So, what what makes your school a magnet school? Like, what's the requirements to be a magnet school, and how do you get into your school?
Oh my gosh, so many wonderful questions. So we're inter-district magnet school. So that means that families from all of the surrounding towns can actually apply to come to school here. It's through obviously a lottery. Obviously in accordance with Chef, it's hopefully 50 urban, 50 suburban, right?
Okay.
Um, with the lottery, again, it's just that the misnomer is that families can call and be like, "What do I have to do to get my kid in your school?" And
Right,
I'm
right.
like,
They're always trying to get the hookup. Put me up on that
exactly.
list.
Oh my god, it's so incredible. I'm like, this isn't like
Yeah.
a college acceptance thing. Although I do tell families I love Starbucks, so like Starbucks gift cards go a long way. Um, but every magnet school has different themes, and within the themes aligned with their programming that they offer.
Well,
Some magnet schools, are pre-K 5. We're kind of an anomaly because there's not many like kindergarten through 8th grade magnet schools, not
right.
many, especially in Hartford. Um, it's really it's exciting. It celebrates diversity. Obviously with Chef, the desegregation. It's a great learning community. We're a small community because we only have
I was
two.
gonna say, how many students you have?
Oh, so right now, I have 300. I have it written somewhere. 40. I have 343.
Okay.
Okay, like today.
Right.
Next year, I'll have over 400. Or
Okay, so
I
you're
had
going
over
up.
Oh
You're
my
going
gosh,
up.
yeah. Every
Okay.
year, our numbers are increasing. I'll be honest, I'm gonna be very real with our budget,
Yeah.
constraints, right? We did have to reallocate staffing positions. So right now we're at 343. However, next school year, we'll have about 4. We had 586 around that number applicants, which is really great. Like
Yeah,
189 like first choice applicants,
yeah.
which gets preference. That's amazing. So we're loading them up. We're gonna
And people
fill.
wanna do they wanna that K-8 model. We have a K-8 school, magnet school in, New Britain as well, and people like that aspect of getting my child in there from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade, right, just as that funnel. However, it's not a traditional middle school. So if it's not a traditional middle school and you have so little people, what are the offerings for middle school students? Do they get a nice, well, put together offering of unified arts or different opportunities to learn
Why,
at your school?
yes,
I know it's
Tyrone,
STEM,
here.
but what do they do?
So, when I first came here, that was the first thing I wanted to do is create a middle school model. Because sixth grade I didn't felt should be self-contained. I did not believe that fifth grade should be. I don't know. So anyway, so we have a full 6-8 model. Our
Okay.
children, are right? ELA, math, science, social studies, they transition to their different classes. They still have access, obviously, to essential arts. So obviously the PE, the art, the music, computer
Yep.
science. In addition, our middle schoolers, it's really important when we're looking at the data and how we want to build the infrastructure for our middle school. We needed every middle schooler to feel connected,
Mhm.
and just the buy-in of their school. But we do that through programming. So we started with having town hall meetings every month with our middle school teams. We do team building activities. We let
Okay.
our STEM student council kind of lead some of that work with our middle school team. And we took a lot of feedback. Like, if you build it, they will come, right? And so we're like, all
Right.
right, you want a spelling bee team? Cool. Let's talk about our STEAM elective courses. Like, yes, our teachers build their courses, but let's do it based on student voice.
Yeah.
We built a lot of leadership roles, internships internally in school. That's very important to us. We implement, obviously, our STEM service hours. So all middle schoolers have to complete a set amount of service hours because we're about giving back to our school
So that's
community.
community service.
100%. Because as I told you, I love community service, and you
You
don't
did
have to
say
get
that.
it.
You did
I
say that.
did say it. I did say it. Yeah, I learned something from Catholic school. Um, Thank you, Jesus. And then yeah, we do a lot. Like, we still do capstone. Uh, So many programs, like our
Wait,
esports.
wait, so do you have STEM Plus?
Yes. Oh my God, we're a STEAM magnet
I'm just
school.
saying, so STEAM, I don't well, tell everybody what STEM Plus is.
So, it's an amazing opportunity for our children to engage in STEAM elective courses, but it is all teacher driven in the sense that our teachers, first of all, what a phenomenal opportunity for me to get to know the staff, because every staff has hidden talents and really like interests that they're really excited about. So it was really cool to learn about, like, oh, these human beings that teach our children like have amazing talents.
Yep.
And so we kind of built the programs around their interests, and then obviously there's some professional learning that comes to play with this, right? Like, if I have teachers are like, hey, I want to do robotics, I need to learn Lego Spike or coding. All right,
Right.
let's get PL. So it's about
Yep.
training your staff in certain areas that they're really interested in, but they create their syllabi. We approve their syllabi, and then the kids get the opportunity to choose their elective courses in-house. So it's about all children have access to these learning opportunities, and they cycle throughout the semesters, which is
Yeah.
really cool. And then we do our STEAM showcase at the end of quarter 2 and 4. And so it's our opportunity for our students to showcase their learning. And we invite our community partners, family members, people obviously downtown to come see the students. But that's
So
actually.
what are some of the titles of those STEM Plus classes? Because we had some cool ones. Because I did the same thing, so I always get excited about it, but what are some of the titles of the courses that you actually had right now for STEM Plus that
So,
could excite people to come and wanna join?
my gosh. Okay, so I will say the top ones for you want me to stick with middle school?
Well, it doesn't matter, it's
Okay.
K-8, do whatever you want.
So obviously, like, we printmaking, animation, robotics, Lego
Robotics is
League.
always popular.
We
Yep,
do
Lego.
financial literacy and entrepreneurial class.
Yes.
We do listen, anime. What did we do? A gardening club. We did built a rain.
Yep.
We're building a rain garden. The gardening club is like super rad. Uh, we did the TBI, the helmet challenge. We did Lego for good. We did like sustainable resources. We do the competitive advancement of technology in space. We
Nice.
do rocketry. We do Rube Goldberg. And then we have chorus and we have band
So
and
you have that during STEM Plus too to kinda make up
yes.
for the time
Mm,
that you could do that in. We were trying to fit stuff in, so I remember we had, like, Rubik's Cube, we had chess club, we had
Dungeons and
dissecting.
Dragons?
Oh,
What?
Dungeons& and Dragons. But no, we had dissecting. God bless Miss Delisle for that. We, like, got in animals and let them dissect stuff, and that was, like, one of the most popular ones as well. So and all the Lego stuff was always, popular too, but that was a big draw for our families to wanna be involved, and every time it was for a new cycle for STEM Plus, we got to, like, the kids would pick their top 10, and we would, like, break it down and see where kids go. That was just it was just fun to do that. It was just fun to do that, so
It really and leveraging our community partners has been so huge, but I
yeah,
love our children our families love that. They love that their children are getting these unique learning experiences, during the school day. It's not all about, like some people say, "Oh, we're a STEM school," but they have, like, an after-school program, right? Like,
right,
no, like,
right,
it's
right. No,
about
no, it's really embedded in what you do
yeah,
every day
everything
no
we do,
matter
which
what.
is so,
Yeah,
so cool. Writing club, poetry club. Basically, I don't think there is an area that we haven't explored
yeah.
for the children based on their interests. Like everything we do is based on the student interest. That's how you get your
Of course,
buy-in.
you should
But
be.
then
You should
our,
be.
our after-school programs, that was something that was it's a mission of mine.
Mhm.
I know I'm a crazy person. That every child participates in a program. Every single child in this building has a connection to a program or a learning experience, and we track that data.
So what
Um,
do you mean, like, after school?
yep,
Or just
yep,
yeah,
yes, mhm, yep. If you build it there yeah, so music theater has been transformative. I mean, we have like 70 kids staying after school for musical theater. And then the art club with like the set design. And then plus like our we do before school, we do a Sunrise Scholars program that I love. Um, we have the honestly, I think we're the only future problem solvers team in Hartford. I have a competitive so we're all about competitions too. Just so you know, I'm
yeah,
the most
yeah.
competitive person
Competitive
you will ever
person.
meet.
Yeah,
I
here
have
we
this
go.
thing about banners. I just feel like everyone needs banners in their life.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, we did the state spelling bee. Obviously, first like future problem solvers is this Saturday in North Haven. So shout out to Bernabucci and Miss McKenna for being amazing future problem solver
Yeah.
coaches. Um, yeah, oh my gosh, in the Connecticut Science Center, right? Those are our partners. Like Megan
Has
Raymer,
always been the Science Center has been from the jump, from the start, right? They were a major partner for us too, from the start.
15 years later, right?
Yeah,
Like we are Megan Raymer is like just such an amazing human being and an amazing partner. So we offer the after school programs to them. Plus, I mean, our university partnerships, like with
yeah.
St. Joe's right now, which is a beautiful full circle moment that
Also
St.
St.
Joe's now works.
St.
Oh,
Joe's.
they don't know the full backstory. Um, they just know I'm an alum. Um,
Mhm.
but they actually do, they're working on forming our like MOU for it to be a clinical site. So they actually support after school a foundational reading club with my first graders, which is amazing to help support
Nice.
early literacy. Obviously, University of Hartford is a huge partner with us still. And then UConn. I will let if there's one thing that I just think is so critically important is to build just such a strong connection with so many people and your school
I
being
mean,
really
you're right next to University of Hartford, right? Like, you're, like, on their campus basically, or they're on your campus because you were there first, or I don't know, vice versa. Maybe they would I don't know. But anyway, you're right there next to University of Hartford, so that's a great, excellent partner to have. And then, having partnerships with UConn, St. Joe's, really unheard of for an elementary school to have that many university partners, that they're working with, so shout out to you for that. I wanna touch on a couple of hot topics that are in school right now because
I drink
you
my
do
dog.
have, all the grade levels there. How are you and your staff using AI right now?
Oh my gosh, you mean all my parent emails? I'm just joking. So that's so funny. You know, in
That
our
is
middle
technology.
in
That is
our
the
middle
T.
school,
Come on.
like,
Yeah.
the responsibility lies with just, like, the digital citizenship of it, and you have to educate the children about AI, right? You have
Yes.
to educate children about its usage, you and about obviously going back to, what are being critical consumers of information.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, we've had to send a letter home to families, just letting them know, like, hey, guess what? AI, it exists. This is part of your children's educational journey. However, it is not a substitute for learning. And it does, obviously, I don't want to say plagiarism per se or cheating per se, but you know what I mean? We're about supporting original thinking and original work. And we have,
So, wait a minute. On that note, if you're
yeah.
about supporting that in students, you wanna make sure they don't do it. Do you and your staff use it to make things easier for you, where it creates things that may not be your original work, but supports the education of students?
Yeah, so we actually did a whole training to get our Google certification.
Okay.
Yeah, so we actually did a school-wide training on it.
Are
That's why
we
we're like, we have
Gemini it
to.
out? Is that Gemini? Is that Notebook
Yeah, no,
LM?
it's
Is that
Google
is
it's
that
Google
is it
Gemini. We
yeah,
actually were part of a cohort, Mr. Blanchard, actually several teachers and I, that we engaged in Play Lab, and so we did a really cool cohort of learning how to actually create our own like app using
yep,
AI. So it was a
okay.
great learning tool for us. I think for students, I don't think that we have enough of the information to, I don't wanna say educate per se, like, my computer science teacher, Mrs. Andrea, is amazing. I mean, the children right now are coding, and they're doing their concept development challenge thing, which is incredible. Um, but it's there, but we had to teach the children that, "Hey, obviously, Go Guardian is on, and when you're taking an
Right.
assessment, you're not logging on to a secure browser," acceptable uses. But we also have like tools too. The irony is we have AI to detect AI usage. Like this
This
is
is
what's
true.
so crazy. It's like, here we go.
Yeah,
Like, so
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Like I have middle school teachers that were like, yeah, look at 98% match to this.
Yeah, to ChatGPT, yes, yes.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. I think we need to do more. This is the future. This is the children's learning experience. And I
So,
think we have to educate ourselves more about it.
we definitely do. What's your thoughts on, though, using, bots, so to speak, to tutor students or to, like, pull a small group, and I have a virtual reality teacher over here with a small group with another teacher in the class. Like, we're going to the do you think that's okay?
Okay, so I watched a 60 Minutes episode on this. Where was the high school? It was wasn't it like following like guy from Khan Academy? Anyways, it's so hard because I feel like I'm projecting my own experience on the kids these days who have grown up and who live with like are so far advanced in regards to their technology usage and exposure. I never had this, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Do I
That's
think that
okay.
benefits? Okay. I grew up in such a different time. Our children now are so savvy. And I mean, it's sad because I want to talk about the impact of literacy rates, but these children were born on on a device. COVID, are you kidding me? Like I was like, technology was COVID's pacifier for children. It really was the demise. Like when I first got here, just so you know, like we actually limit technology. We're a STEM school and I don't have kids use computers. I'm like,
Are you doing notebooking still?
you need a book and a composition notebook.
A
Yeah.
composition notebook, that's what I mean, the notebooking with the composition notebooks.
Yes. Oh my
And
gosh.
so
Yep.
we're not using Google we're not a one-to-one school or anything like that, like,
We
if
absolutely
we would have
are, and we
Chromebook.
use it. No, we
Okay,
absolutely are, and we use it for research. I have to plug my computer in, so we're gonna go for a little walk. I'm so sorry.
we can do
Um,
that, that's
so you see my office. No, we use it for research components. We use it for assessments, but like back in the day where it's like, oh, just go on like Zern or go on iReady or
right,
go on,
right,
these platforms are supposed to quote like teach your children. Like we don't do that. I mean, we don't have those
okay,
resources anyways, but
right.
no, we have books in kids' hands. Like we have to teach our children how to read. We learned a lot about just the inability of them to sustain their attention with reading. And
Okay.
having just that was a huge deal. I mean, the attention span. I mean, there's so much neuroscience out there, right, about your brain development and technology and the impact it has, on a child's little brain. Um, so anyways, I'll get off my
So what
soapbox.
about
I don't
what
know.
about handwriting? Have you
Yes.
seen have you seen your students' handwriting?
Oh my gosh, we just did for PL, we just did our a student work protocol looking at our students writing their FQTs in tier one wit and wisdom. And I
Nice.
have to say, I'm so proud because I've definitely seen
Some improvement?
great writing happening. But that was a
Nice.
struggle. Can I be honest with you? That was such a struggle for the children. Just grammar. Who teaches? Does anybody teach
Right.
grammar anymore?
Nobody uses grammar anymore. Yeah, yeah.
And I am by no means a grammarian. Thank you, ChatGPT, because they really do fix my. I literally will write authentic thinking, and I'll be like, "Can you fix that?" Because I don't know why I love commas. I put commas in everything. I'm like, I will write and be like, what? This feels like a comma should be in here. So if you ever get any writing from me, you'll just notice there's like 500 commas in there. But remember DOL. Remember DOL.
Yes, yes. Daily oral language every day when you start the day off or you start the period off. You're doing that with students. You can still do it, you know. You don't have to not do it. You just gotta find the time and put it in and make it a priority, if that's what you wanna do,
That's true. No, it's so
or if
true.
that's what you feel our students need. How are your kids with, cell phones? How's your school with cell phones? What's your policy? What's the rule?
No, they hand them in. Yep, when the children come in grades 5 through 8, we don't have the yonder pouches, but we do have assigned numbers, and so the children come in and hand in their phones. And I will do a sweep. I'll have our security officer come with me, and we'll do a sweep because they have a number and we have a clipboard. So I literally can pick up the clipboard, if I'm and say, up 37, notice the pouch. Oh, nope, I don't see a phone in 37.
So
Oh,
what you
well,
mean,
that,
so you have the, like, the shoe bags on the wall where they
yeah,
just put it in there?
yeah.
Okay.
And I have to say for the most part, but then guess what? Technology advances, right? Now we have like the Apple, like the watches and all
Watch it,
that. So
yeah.
we have to like even go so far, especially when testing, we take their watch. Like we basically
Yeah.
were like, and then the headphones. Oh my gosh. It's the new
Okay, so they
we
can't wear headphones either?
no,
I'm just asking, I'm just
no. How are
asking. So no headphone so let me just be clear on this. What about during lunch or recess or any other time? Just as soon as they come in, they put their phones up, they don't take it out to the end of the day.
yeah, let's learn how to socialize and be human beings. Yes.
Okay.
Like it's part of their just adolescent learning experience, right? And elementary experience. Like learn how to play. That's why kids are like, yeah, no, absolutely. They have earbuds, like if they're taking a test, you know what I mean? On the whatever, that's fine. And I know the kids love listening to music because we have children that walk to school and they listen to music.
Right.
That's
Right. Yeah,
fantastic.
that's
The
fine. But when
second
you
you
get
get
here, put
here,
it
I
away.
don't want to see it. I just took actually a really cute. I don't know what they're called, beats or like I don't know, but they were like gold. They were like fancy, and I'm like,
You
oh.
gonna keep them?
I mean, I did give them back to her.
Give them back to 'em.
I was tempted though,
Yeah. Yeah.
but no, I think that's important. Like
Okay.
they get enough technology. My God, like isn't it funny? Like, hi, we're gonna come to school to socialize and like
Right.
learn how to
Right.
be decent human beings.
Okay. So you have your K-8 school. You're a principal now. You're rocking it. You're doing your thing, but you also teach.
I do.
Right? You teach a whole nother generation of future what? Is it future principals, future teachers, future who you teaching and where are you teaching at?
So I'm still at the University of Hartford. So I've been there. This is my coming on my 15th year as an
Yeah,
adjunct at the University of Hartford. So I teach pre-service teachers. I'm very thankful to have both grad and undergrad courses, which is great. I'm very thankful for this opportunity. I love teaching pre-service teachers. Uh,
okay,
I just I feel like it's my way of giving back, but also keeping it so real with them. Because we could read all the theory in the world and we can, we could read all the text, all the research, but I love the fact that I live and breathe this work every day. And so I get to bring that perspective when I'm teaching pre-service teachers. I'm also I'm a university supervisor for
Okay.
student teachers. So I loved that. Well, I love that, and I love past tense, because I really get to see the students grow. And I'm thankful because I have them here at school. So I have them for in class, and then they get placed here with me at
Right,
STEM.
you d this you just you I don't wanna say you double dipping, but in a way you just like, you know what I'm
Uh,
saying? You
Aaron, I'm triple dipping
triple
because
di
if they're good, I'm like,
Yeah, you're gonna
if I
steal
have
them.
an
Imma find a
opening,
way to keep them here. This is what Melanie would do too. Um,
100%.
how we got Danielle. So but
Exactly.
doesn't that
Yeah.
right,
She
and we
was
got
my
Danielle who was
student teacher. Like,
yeah, yeah. So how How does that keep you on your toes as a principal? Because when I was doing that at UConn, I had the UCAT program and I was a principal of practice, and I had courses that I would teach with Melanie Brady to UCAT people, and then they would come watch me in action. But I loved it because that kept me on my toes as a principal. It kept me like my data teams were tight, my behavior was good. I was doing this because I was always trying to show off at what it would really look like for them. So how does that help you stay on top of your game?
I think because it just continues to reinforce that I'll start from like the principal lens and like the teacher lens. Like this is I take this role very seriously in regards to the level of responsibility that it carries. I think this is one of the greatest responsibilities of my life, being a principal, but also educating pre-service teachers, especially now. When you think about like the narrative within our field over the last like 5, 10 years, I mean, even post COVID, it's astounding. I just feel like there's no greater responsibility now, and I need to be on my top game because I'm basically part of their learning experience and part of their
Right,
journey. And they might be on a podcast with you 10 years from now and be like,
right.
this crazy professor, Erin Wilson-Ruff said. Um,
Yeah,
y- I think I owe it to them to be in the know, to be up to date on the latest research, to just I'm imparting knowledge. I think that's so important. I need to be on my A game. Am I on my A game all the time? No, because I am human.
right,
Um, but I'm always there for them, and I will always be honest. I'm very direct with feedback. I'm very direct with feedback.
okay,
I am, because that's feedback is love. You don't have to love the person giving you the feedback, but feedback is
right,
love because I wouldn't be giving you this feedback if I didn't think A, you could handle it, or B, it's gonna help you shift your practice or shift your thinking so you can grow as a human being because you're gonna be educating children one day. And these are I know
right.
it sounds so crazy. I'll start singing Whitney, but this is our future. And
The
look at what the
future.
hell is going on in the United States of America right now. Look at
Right.
what's happening in our political landscape and our educational landscape. We are at a critical time right now. And education, I can't think of a more important time to educate
Yeah,
children,
and that you're
get them
and again,
literate.
like I said, you have people in front of you as a principal, as a leader, right? All the people in staff, and then you're teaching those that are coming up next. So of course, big responsibility, and I like what you said about owing it to them to be on top of the latest stuff, right? The latest research, the latest technology, the latest, I don't know, books, learning
Mhm.
theories.
Yep.
I'm on a trip right now where I'm like, because I deal with 612. So the adolescence, right? And I'm like, did we forget what adolescence was like? Did we forget brain development? Did we forget what students are like as middle schoolers and as high schoolers? Like we have to learn what it is that they're into. We have to remember what it was like to be them in their shoes, the impulsivity, the bad decision making, the learning stages that they have to go through. And social media doesn't do a good job to help us with that, but it's our job to learn what it's gonna take to help get them through that. And so, I'm with my principals trying to make sure that they work with their teachers on not forgetting what adolescence is like. And so I go back to your conversation about being in reach and how all those things were happening to you there. But, as a human being, we take stuff personal sometimes do you feel that, guess I'm going with this where I'm going with this is, do you feel that teachers nowadays are different than before? Like, our kids are a little bit different, but are our teachers different too? Like, are they a little sensitive sometimes? Like, or are kids a little bit more bolder and are driving teachers more crazy? Like, I don't know. The smallest thing sometimes I see get under teachers' skin, and they're out on FMLA for a reason. Like, and I'm not taking nothing away from teachers, they work hard, I get it, but I'm seeing some stuff right now that's a little bit alarming.
Alarming.
Yeah.
Um, God, such a great question. I think, oh gosh, I think there's so many layers to this. I can say from, and I'm not saying like my school, my
Right,
teachers,
right, right.
just in
Yeah.
general, I feel like our work ethic as educators have shifted dramatically post COVID. I think that the TikTok teacher nation has demoralized our profession, where, I think that it's sad that across our nation there's such disparities in pay for teachers. I mean, you have teachers that are literally like, oh, I work 8:30 to 3 o'clock and that's it. I don't do any work outside of my contractual hours. I don't plan. Oh, I
Mhm.
only read an email during this time. Oh, I didn't,
Right, right,
I feel like
right.
the work ethic has shifted, but I think it aligns with within their region or city
Yeah,
or town of how they respect and prioritize education. But I
yeah.
feel like honestly, you see all those TikToks and all those teacher memes,
Yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah. It's crazy.
and
Yeah.
non-unionized people, and the pay is ridiculous. I mean, my sister moved to North Carolina and took a huge pay cut, right?
Yes.
And there's no union down there, but she works twice as hard. And
Yeah,
I'm like, "Oh my god."
yeah, yeah.
I think our students too, I think as such a shift, we're just our adolescents, right? My heart breaks for our children because I feel as if they have so much access to things they shouldn't have access to.
Are you
And they're
kidding me?
exposed to things
Big
that
time, as we
developmentally
never were.
that cannot
Yes.
they
Yeah.
cannot process and understand.
Mhm.
I feel as if they're socially dysregulated. They don't know how to communicate effectively. But when you
Right.
think about that, and I'm not just going to keep like blaming COVID, but when we just
No,
put,
you're right.
a screen in front of a kid and a baby, and you wonder why we have so many children that require speech and language services.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? When you're not sitting at the table and having dinner and conversations, when you're not able to like communicate your feelings, and when your first initial response is like fight or flight, so you become
Mhm.
physical and dysregulated. Like I just feel like it's so multifaceted. But I think that every single person plays a part in it, and I think is part of the problem. But I
Yeah.
also think that every person can be part of the solution. But there are certain things that are within our control. There are things without our control.
Right.
So that's why I think it's so incredibly important when you have a school community to have such, you all have to have a similar like set of, I don't want to say values, but yeah, like this is our core
Yeah.
beliefs. So I
Yep.
can't control out here, but from 8:30 to 3:20,
This is what
while
we're going to do
while you're
here.
in our academic
Yes.
learning
Yes.
community, we all drank the same Kool-Aid, honey. Like,
Right.
welcome to STEM. Like, this is what
So,
we do here.
what you're mentioning, everything that you just said is in the anxious generation, right?
Yeah. Oh,
You picked
oh,
that up? So
okay.
that book right there, I don't I one of the things I don't like about the state of the nation today or the state of where we are at today is that everything is here today, gone tomorrow. It is like awful. It's like the hot topic, the hot thing. And I think that piece of literature, that book, has a dynamic that everybody needs to pay attention to when it comes to what technology has done to us as a community.
Yeah,
And it's still relevant. It just came out a couple years ago and we like put it away and we're not talking about that anymore. Well,
yeah.
bring that back out because we need to continue to talk about that. And it was a big lawsuit that was just won, what, yesterday on
Yes.
about social media
Yep.
and what it's doing to children and whatnot. And we have to pay attention to that moving forward. So the whole attention span thing of here today, gone tomorrow is just is hurting us. But that's a book that I continue to go back to pull out pieces of to remind folks about that this is what technology is doing to us.
Yeah, and as adults too, right? Think about our
Big
own
time.
habits of mind. Think about our own
Yeah.
habits at night, like as grown adults. I mean, are we on Instagram or do we on Snapchat? Are we on Facebook? Are we, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's really great book. Great book.
Yeah. Great book. Great
Great.
book. All right. So listen, I could talk to you forever.
Oh my
I
god,
could
I
talk.
love you. This is so good.
Shout
Next
out.
time, can we do it in the morning where I don't have all the bags? Like after a 12-hour workday,
Been a
Tyrone, you want
long
to do this
day.
at
Been a
7
long
at
day.
night? Like I've been
Listen,
here for
I'm
14
sorry.
hours.
I'm sorry. Thanks for sticking around. If you don't know, she's still in the building at the school, just had a show, and decided to come on. So that's good. Thank you for this. Thank you for
No,
this.
thank
But
you.
I can't let you get away without your top five. This is where we do our top five TV shows
Okay.
or movies about school. So it goes from five to
God.
one. So you stop at the bottom. Yeah, you do. You have to number them. So it just can't just be five, right? It got to be a top one. You're gonna go through that list and say why for each one. So please give us number 5.
Okay. So can you give me I wrote it down. I'm just gonna grab it. Do you mind? It's at the table. Give
You
me
can
one
grab it.
second. Give
You
me
can
one.
grab it. It's all good.
I'm really
You had
excited.
to plug in her, computer. Do you want me to do, like, Jeopardy music?
Yes, I feel like I should. And by the way, and maybe next time hair and makeup. Hold on. Okay. And at 7 in the morning. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, top 5, but 5 like
5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then
right.
1.
So, okay, I forever in a day, I'm gonna say School of Rock, number 5, because
Okay, School of Rock,
I
Jack Black.
love I just love the kids finding their inner like rock star status. Okay. My next one, oh
Yeah,
gosh. I'm gonna say, well, Saved by the Bell. I mean, hello, who doesn't
okay.
well, Kelly Kapowski. Um, Kelly. I just always like there are
So
scenes.
who was your crush on that? Was it Zach or was it Mario Lopez? Who
Oh,
was it?
okay. Zach.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
no, he was a cutie patootie until, like, Slater would come out in, like, his little, like, beefcake tank tops and, like, you know what I mean? I think because Jessie Spano drove me absolutely I couldn't stand her. Like, I honestly, to this day, I'm like,
Lovely.
I just oh, she drove me nuts.
Mhm.
In that Speed episode, remember the Speed episode?
No, because I didn't watch Saved by the Bell. No, no.
Whoever's
I
watching
honestly
knows the
I
Speed
would say,
episode when, Jessie Spano got on the Speed. That
well,
was
they
fun.
always shows like that always have an episode where, people dabble in stuff to try to teach our kids a lesson here and there, and I'm not gonna say I never watched Saved by the Bell, I just wasn't into it like
Invested.
that. Wasn't into it like that. Invested. Alright, what's your number 3?
I love it. Um, oh my gosh, 10 Things I Hate About You. I loved that movie.
Okay, don't know what that is, and was that about school?
Yes, it all took place in school. Yes, with Heath
Okay.
Ledger. Oh my god. Yeah, and Julia Stiles. Oh my god, I used to love that. Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You.
So
Great
what was that
movie.
about? What's the premise of that movie? Was it all about,
So it's like a
like
hard chick. So it's a oh my gosh, I love it. So single dad, 2 daughters. One daughter's just like kind of like hardcore, like very independent. Love her, love everything
yeah?
about her. And then long story short, I think like the boy paid the other boy to take the sister out or something like that, but then they ended up like falling in love with each other. It was like a whole thing
Think
about
that been done
prom.
before? Hasn't the makeover thing that was the makeover thing, like, "We're gonna make this
So
tough girl out to look good, and we're gonna hire somebody to date somebody and stuff." I just feel like I've seen that before, but not in that movie.
yeah, but she's so strong, and I loved the, oh my god, I was obsessed with, like, the soundtrack. I remember, like,
Okay,
in my this is by the way, this movie is back when I was, like, in what, high school? So it's an older
okay,
movie.
yeah.
But I just remember the soundtrack was, like, so great.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes,
Okay.
and Heath Ledger out there on the field when he was, like, singing, like, with the marching band and, like, trying to win her heart over, and she was in detention a lot, so I kinda related to her,
Got you.
although I never had a guy out singing to me on
Singing for
the
you to come out of detention.
no. No,
Like Catholic school.
he's the reason why I got detention, so there you go about that one. Um Okay, I love Meat Forever, and am I already on, like, yes, here we go. Okay, Stand and Deliver. I'm
Number
sorry.
2. Stand and
Listen,
Deliver, number 2.
I don't think
Okay?
there's any educator out there that isn't like, and there I still quote Jaime Escalante. Like,
Okay.
I'm like, "This is my Jaime Escalante moment. Let me tell you," like, I just, oh my god, like, best movie ever. Um, and then last, just because it's the funniest show, and again, remember when I said that I wanted to be like on Destinos and I wanted to be a writer?
Yes.
In my next career, I would love to be a guest writer on Abbott Elementary
Number
because
1 is Abbott Elementary. Okay.
I like, it's seriously such a phenomenal show. It's so relatable. And I just love the principal, and I'm just like,
Well, she is something else. So
Miss
that's one of
Howard is
my
my favorite. Miss Howard
yeah,
with like I
yeah.
just love her. Yeah.
It was renewed again for another season. And, the Chris, I call him Chris because from Everybody Hates Chris, which is
Yes.
another great show, but
Oh yeah.
he's been directing the last few episodes as well. So I think that's phenomenal. I love the inner workings of the cast. I love the fourth wall thing that they got going on. Very well written show and funny as hell, and I think every character brings the element to the show that makes it that much better. So, yeah, I like your top pick.
It's my favorite. It's like there's so many different like educational like archetypes, you know what I mean? And it's like I love the themes because it's like I think a lot of teachers can relate to the themes, you know what I mean? I just I just think it's hilarious. So, yes, it's, because that was one of my majors. I was a writing major.
So, thank you for going through your top 5. That was quick, that was easy, you made it through it. You didn't think you would be able to do it, but you did it.
No.
Um, I do wanna say it's been a pleasure to have you on. Like I said, we could talk for
All
tons
day.
of times. I love your energy. Thank you for sticking around. I know you wanna get home, so I
I think I'm
appreciate
just gonna sleep here, Tyrone. I think honestly at this point, like I do have a shower and a
I
bathroom, so
don't
I might as
listen,
well.
I don't hate you for it because
Like
I remember those days just being in there and you're like, "Oh my god, I'll come back in the morning." But tomorrow's Friday, so Friday's always good, right? Right?
every day is a great day at Annie Fisher STEM Magnet School.
Thank you. We've been chatting with Erin Wilson-Ruff, principal of Annie Fisher STEM. Thanks again, Erin.
Thank you, Tyrone.
Okay. So that's it. That's a wrap on this episode of the Teach One podcast. But I do have some homework for you. You got to subscribe, you got to like, you got to share with your teaching besties, and then comment on your favorite takeaways. That's your homework. Seriously, thanks for tuning in and being part of this amazing community of educators. Keep inspiring, keep growing, and remember you're teaching one student at a time and making all the difference. So see you on the next episode.